My name is Diana Walsh. I'm 47 years old, and I work in operations management for a regional logistics company. I've been divorced for 6 years, live alone, and I've spent most of my adult life being the reliable one in my family. The problem solver, the backup plan, the person everyone leaned on and quietly resented. I was standing in my kitchen that Tuesday morning, coffee going cold in my hand, when my phone buzzed. Mom's message was short, rehearsed, cruelly polite. Please don't come. The family wants a drama-free wedding. Before I could even process it, I saw the notification beneath it. My sister Vanessa had liked the message. Not accidentally. Not sympathetically. She liked it. I stared at that tiny heart icon until my vision blurred. This wasn't emotional panic. This was coordinated. They discussed this. Decided together. Then Mom pulled the trigger while Vanessa cheered from the sidelines. That's when I remembered something important. I'd paid the deposit for that wedding venue 6 months ago. I sat down at my kitchen table and let the memories flood back. I wasn't always the outsider. I was just the sister who moved out early, paid my own way, didn't ask for help. I built my life quietly, confidently, independently. They didn't hate me because I caused problems. They hated me because I didn't need them. When Dad died 8 years ago, I handled the funeral arrangements alone because everyone else was too emotional. When Mom's roof needed repairs, I paid for it without asking to be repaid. When Vanessa's first business failed, I covered 3 months of her rent. But I never cried on their shoulders. Never asked them to solve my problems. Never gave them the satisfaction of feeling needed by me. So somewhere along the way, I became difficult, cold, distant. I realized then, the wedding exclusion wasn't the betrayal. It was the final test to see if I'd break. I didn't call, didn't text back, didn't argue or beg or demand explanations. Instead, I opened my laptop and started searching through old emails and documents, bank statements, contracts, receipts. I'm methodical by nature. It's what makes me good at my job. That's when I found it buried in a folder from 6 months ago, the venue contract for Vanessa's wedding. The deposit was $4,000. Non-refundable, but transferable only with written consent from the original payer. My name was on that contract. Not Mom's. Not Vanessa's. Mine. The venue was already paid through my credit card for the full amount. Another $12,000 charged 2 months ago when Vanessa called me crying about cash flow problems. I leaned back in my chair, heart pounding. I could legally step away from this. Transfer it. Cancel it. And no one could stop me. But I didn't move. Not yet. 3 days later, I ran into Vanessa at the grocery store. Pure coincidence, or maybe the universe has a sense of humor. She was in the produce section, glowing in her engagement bliss, choosing between overpriced organic tomatoes. When she saw me, her face flickered with something. Guilt, maybe, but it vanished fast. Diana. Hey. She smiled like nothing had happened. Like she hadn't just co-signed my exile. Vanessa. I kept my voice neutral. Mom said it was best for everyone, she added casually, inspecting an avocado. You know how you can be. We just wanted things to stay calm. How I can be. As if I was the problem. I smiled back. Not because I forgave her, but because she had absolutely no idea what was coming. I understand, I said quietly. I hope it's a beautiful day. She looked relieved. Grateful even. Then she walked away. I decided right then, I would do nothing impulsive. Only strategic. Over the next week, I started hearing the story they were telling about me. A cousin called, concerned. Vanessa mentioned you've been going through a rough patch. She said you might cause a scene. A scene. Me. The woman who hadn't raised her voice at a family gathering in 20 years. An old family friend reached out too. Your mom's worried about you. She says you've been unstable since the divorce. Unstable. That word landed like a punch. I realized they'd been building this narrative for months, maybe longer. Painting me as resentful, unreliable, unpredictable. It hurt, but it also clarified something crucial. They'd underestimated me so completely that they thought I was already defeated, that I'd slink away quietly, tail between my legs, proving them right. That's when I decided to let them believe it. Let them think I was broken. Let them think they'd won. Because underestimated women are dangerous. I didn't make a scene. I didn't send angry emails or leave voicemails. Instead, I quietly removed myself from a shared responsibility they'd relied on for years. I was the cosigner on Mom's car lease, the one she got after Dad died because her credit was shaky. I sent formal notice to the dealership that I was withdrawing as cosigner at the end of the term in 60 days. Everything I did was clean. Legal. Documented. I also stopped managing the family cloud storage account, the one I'd been paying for since 2019. I sent a polite email letting everyone know the subscription would end in 30 days and they should back up their files. No confrontation. Just boundaries. Within a week, the first crack appeared. Mom called Vanessa in a panic about the car lease. But they didn't see it as connected yet. They still thought I was just being distant. They had no idea I was building a wall. 2 weeks after the text, Mom finally called me. Her voice wasn't warm. It wasn't apologetic. It was anxious. Diana, why is the dealership saying you're pulling out of my lease? I was at my desk, calm ready. Because I'm prioritizing my peace. Isn't that what you wanted? A drama-free situation. Silence. This is different, she said, voice tight. That's not about the wedding. You're right, I replied. It's about me finally understanding that I don't owe anyone access to my life, my money, or my energy. You taught me that when you uninvited me. Her tone shifted then. The authority cracked. I heard something I'd never heard from her before, fear. We can talk about this. We are talking, I said. I'm just not arguing. I hung up gently. No slamming. No drama. Just done. The wedding plans started shaking. I heard all of this secondhand, through the cousin who still texted me, through mutual friends who weren't picking sides. The venue raised the final payment deadline. Costs were climbing. Vanessa's fiancé's family was getting cold feet about contributing more. Stress was multiplying. And I remained absent. Quiet. Polite. I didn't gloat. Didn't watch from the shadows with satisfaction. I just lived my life. Work, gym, reading, sleep. I was healthier than I'd been in years. Then, 3 weeks before the wedding, Vanessa sent a message she couldn't take back. You're really going to let Mom suffer because your feelings got hurt? Grow up, Diana. This is her only daughter's wedding. I read it twice. Let the words settle. Then I blocked her number. Not out of rage. Out of clarity. She still thought she was entitled to me. 2 days later, another message came, from Mom this time, on email since I'd stopped answering her calls. The subject line, please. Inside, the message was framed as reconciliation, but it was really pressure. Manipulation dressed up as concern. Vanessa's been crying. This is ruining everything. I know you're hurt, but family forgives. Please don't punish her for something I said. No apology. No acknowledgement. Just an expectation that I'd fold. I didn't respond. Instead, I forwarded the venue contract to my lawyer and asked a simple question. If I withdraw financial support, what are my legal obligations? Her response was clear, none. The deposit was a gift. The rest was paid voluntarily. I could walk away tomorrow. I printed her email and filed it carefully. Then I realized something powerful. Silence had become my leverage. A week before the wedding, they invited me, not to the ceremony, but to talk things out over coffee. I almost laughed. They wanted closure on their terms. Wanted me to explain myself, justify my boundaries, prove I wasn't vindictive. I declined. Respectfully. No explanations. No justifications. I appreciate the offer, but I'm not available. That was it. 6 words. For the first time in my life, I didn't need them to understand. Didn't need their approval. Didn't need to make them comfortable with my choices. Mom called me selfish. Vanessa called me cruel. But neither of them called me wrong. Because deep down they knew. They knew exactly why I was gone. And that terrified them more than anything I could have said. 5 days before the wedding, something collapsed completely. The floral vendor canceled. Apparently, no one had confirmed the final payment, which was due 2 weeks prior. Vanessa had been relying on Mom to handle it. Mom thought Vanessa's fiancé was covering it. Chaos. My phone lit up like a fireworks show. Calls. Texts. Voicemails. Diana, please, we need help. Diana, just this once. Diana, you're the only one who can fix this. I sat on my couch, phone buzzing on the coffee table, and I didn't move. I let it ring. Let the messages pile up. Let them sit in the mess they'd created by pushing out the only person who actually managed details. It wasn't revenge. It was consequence. And consequence doesn't need my participation. Finally, on day 4 of radio silence, Mom called from Vanessa's phone, a number I hadn't blocked yet. I answered. Her voice was small, shaking. Nothing like the woman who'd texted me to stay away. Diana, please. I'm begging you. No demands. No guilt trips. Just raw desperation. We can't do this without you. I don't know how we ever did. I closed my eyes. Part of me wanted to cave. Wanted to be the hero one more time. But I didn't. I'll help, I said slowly. But on my terms. Silence. Then quietly, what do you need? Acknowledgement, I said. Written. Clear. Honest. I want you and Vanessa to admit why you excluded me. And I want it before I lift a finger. She hesitated. I could hear her breathing. That's all. That's everything, I said. And I hung up. An hour later, an email arrived. From Mom's account. Vanessa was CC'd. The subject line, what we owe you. I opened it. It was short. Painful. Real. Diana, we excluded you because it was easier than standing up for you. Some family members said you made them uncomfortable. We didn't ask why. We didn't defend you. We sacrificed you for convenience and peace. That was wrong. We're sorry. I read it 3 times. My hands were shaking. It hurt more than the original text. Because it confirmed what I'd always suspected. I wasn't the problem. I was just the easiest one to cut. But it also freed me. Because now I knew the truth, and they couldn't take it back. I forwarded the email to my lawyer with a note, for my records. Then I called Mom. I'll make some calls, I said. I'll fix what I can. But I'm not attending the wedding. I spent the next 2 days working the phone like I was back in my operations job. I contacted the floral vendor, negotiated a late penalty fee, and paid it directly. I coordinated with the venue to confirm last-minute setup details they'd missed. I didn't do it for them. I did it because I'm not cruel. Because even when people hurt me, I don't believe in scorched earth. But I stayed emotionally distant. Professional. I didn't join group chats. Didn't attend any last-minute family prep sessions. I solved the problem. Nothing more. And when Vanessa sent a message thanking me, adding I knew you'd come through, I didn't respond. Because she still didn't get it. She thought this meant forgiveness. She thought I was back in the fold. But I wasn't. I was just closing a chapter cleanly. The day before the wedding, a new invitation appeared in my inbox. It was from Vanessa. The subject line, please come tomorrow. Inside, a long rambling message about how she realized she'd been wrong. How she missed me. How it wouldn't feel right without me there. It was guilt. Not love. Guilt. I didn't respond with anger. I didn't respond at all. Instead, I ordered a gift online, a beautiful set of personalized cutting boards with their names engraved. I had it shipped overnight to the venue with a card. The card said, I hope today is peaceful, because peace is what I'm choosing now. No blame. No bitterness. Just boundaries. I stayed home that day. Made breakfast. Went for a long walk. Read a book in the park. And for the first time in years, I felt light. The wedding happened. I wasn't there. I heard later that Mom cried when she read my card. That Vanessa stared at the gift for a long time before putting it on the display table. People apparently asked where I was. The answer they gave was vague. She couldn't make it. But the whispers started. Cousins who knew me. Friends who'd seen the effort I put in. They asked questions. Wait, didn't Diana help plan this? Wasn't she paying for things? The family's story started to crack. Because my absence was louder than my presence ever was. And they couldn't control that narrative anymore. 2 weeks after the wedding, Vanessa showed up at my apartment unannounced. I opened the door surprised. She looked exhausted. Angry. Exposed. You made me look bad, she said, voice shaking. People kept asking about you. It ruined the day. I leaned against the doorframe calm. I didn't ruin anything, Vanessa. I wasn't even there. Exactly, she snapped. You punished me. Punished all of us. I shook my head slowly. I didn't punish you. I stopped protecting you. There's a difference. Her face crumpled. And for the first time I saw it, the realization. She understood what she'd lost. Not a servant. Not a wallet. But someone who'd actually cared. She left without another word. A month later, Mom called. Her voice was different. Tentative. Can we talk? Really talk. We met at a neutral coffee shop. She looked older. Worn. I've been thinking about what happened, she said quietly. About what we did to you. I waited. I can't control you anymore, can I? She wasn't angry. Just resigned. No, I said simply. You can't. She nodded. I want to rebuild. But I don't know how. I took a breath. You start by letting me be who I am. Not who you need me to be. She looked at me for a long time. Then, finally, she nodded. I told her the truth I'd never said before. I always felt like love in this family came with conditions. Like I had to earn it by being useful. By fixing things. By never needing anything back. She opened her mouth to argue, then stopped. Because she couldn't. When you uninvited me, it just confirmed what I already knew. I wasn't loved for me. I was tolerated because I was convenient. Tears filled her eyes. That's not. It is, I said gently. And I'm done earning it. She had no rebuttal. No defense. She just sat there broken. And I realized I didn't need her to fix this. I just needed her to hear it. Over the next few months, things shifted. Invitations came. Apologies stumbled out awkwardly. Mom tried. Vanessa tried. But I was different now. Healthier. Calmer. Unavailable in the ways I used to be. I didn't rush to help. Didn't drop everything when they called. I had my own life now, and I protected it. They worried about losing me. And maybe they should have. Because power had shifted. And I wasn't giving it back. Then, 6 months later, Vanessa called with a new crisis. Her marriage was struggling. She needed advice. Needed support. Needed me. I listened. I empathized. But when she asked me to co-sign a loan for couples therapy, I said no. Kindly. Firmly. But no. I love you, Vanessa. But I won't be the solution to problems I didn't create. She was shocked. Hurt. I thought we were rebuilding. We are, I said. But rebuilding doesn't mean I go back to the old role. She finally understood. I wasn't coming back into the fix-it box. I wasn't going to be the backup plan. I was just going to be her sister. Nothing more. Nothing less. A year after the wedding text, I sat in my living room reflecting on everything. I wasn't angry anymore. Wasn't bitter. I was just free. I'd built a drama-free life. New hobbies. New friendships. Therapy that actually helped. Boundaries that held. The family was still there, at a distance. We talked occasionally. Saw each other on holidays. But I was no longer the center of their emergencies. And that was the greatest gift I'd ever given myself. I thought about that text sometimes. Please don't come. The family wants a drama-free wedding. At the time, it destroyed me. But now I saw it differently. It wasn't an exclusion. It was a liberation. They wanted drama-free? I gave them a drama-free life mine. I realized the wedding wasn't what I was excluded from. It was the last place I needed to be. Because being there would have meant pretending everything was fine. Smiling through the pain. Playing the role. And I was done performing. In the end, I didn't win by proving them wrong. I won by walking away. They lost control. I gained peace. And for the first time in my life, I won without asking permission. The text that cut me out became the text that set me free. And I wouldn't change a single thing.